What's going on? So, I have Little Nightmares as a game, and we just beat one of the levels, but this video is going to be analyzing gameplay, analyzing sound, analyzing art, analyzing the whole kit and caboodle so we could use it for Curie. And I'm basically just going to talk about like how it makes me feel, type of things that I'm witnessing through the controller, through, sound, I have my headphones on. So right now I think we're going to fight the chefs, and we just got done with the first guy, which was Mr. Hands. But yeah, so this is going to be for helping the development of Curie in terms of what's already out there. I know that we use this game as kind of like a motif, a bit of an inspiration for Curie. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump into it. So just a few little bits of mechanics that we just got involved with. Obviously, we have our jump right here. We have a bit of a crouch button here. We can also pick things up with R2. You can see the animation. She's like, okay, what am I grabbing? There's that. We have a little light. Got a little light flicker. Camera. You can look high. You can look off to the side. You can look off that way. Looking that way. Let's see. What else? I think that's pretty much it. But yeah. So far, okay, we're gonna get into one of the first things, our climbing. You can climb a lot of different things in this game, from books to shelves to, ladders and stuff like that. Um, yeah. So I think we're also about to grab one of these meat hooks. So jump and grab. Yeah, I didn't think I did it. There was a bit of a delay. Jump and grab. Nope, come on. But obviously you kind of tell where they're coming from because of the lighting. Lighting is a huge and beautiful thing in this game. Got a little meat bag right there. Oh, so there you go. You didn't even have to jump. You could just get right here and then boop, get up there. So now we're coming this way. And look, there's the chef. The next guy we're going to be fighting. You can hear the creak and the sound of the door. Here's some meat bags. It's kind of scary and traumatic if you think about it, just diving in on like these little meat bags here. So this is a common occurrence in the game. Your stomach will just start churning and you'll start getting hungry and you'll stop and just feel that immense pain. You can hear the music. This music kind of comes on each time that you like feel this pain. You're like, oh, this sucks. You just heard something go off. It's probably one of these traps, as you can tell. You see it first, and then you hear it, and then you saw the rat, and it's like, oh, I think that rat just got hit, or something like that. A little bit of water right there, a little bit of ripple. In immense pain. You could hear your heartbeat. The song. He's caught in the rat trap. And what does our character do? Grabs this thing and starts going to town on it. And of course, you can kind of get the like dark, sinister vibe because the light is like, the light's fading and the darkness is coming in, and the light comes back. Ooh, this piano, this song. You can hear the little footsteps, especially when you're in the water. See the little ripple effects from the water. Little footsteps. You can see it right there from the water. So let's keep going through here, through the meat bags. Oh, right, I forgot there's a sprint button. If you hold square, you can sprint. R2 you can use to grab and climb. So we're going to push this. Or at least I thought we could push this. Come on. Maybe we need to get down. So... No? Do we have to pull it? We might have to pull it. No? Maybe we do need to push it. Let's see. So obviously something isn't going right. Let's see. Let's turn on our light just to see. Well, this is a wheelie cart, right? Do we push the wheelie cart? No? Okay, that time it worked. So when it comes to pushing things, you don't have to hit any button. You just have to, like, put your weight into it as a character. You know, just move into it. When you're walking on these little meat bags, you can obviously kind of tell they're cloth from the pitter-patter of your feet. Kind of hear that subtly. One of the things that I noticed when I was fighting Mr. Hands was that depending on the bosses that you're fighting or the monsters that you're fighting, there always seems to be like a theme of how they interact with you. With Mr. Hands, he was blind, so he was sensitive to sound. So you had like little music boxes that you had to use to distract him. You had like a big TV that took his attention because it was like a very loud song that was playing on the TV and you had to turn it on. If you were trying to hide from him, like the wood in the floor would just start creaking, which would then alert him. Or if you were like high in the rafters or something like that, you would knock over something, he would put his hands up there and just try to grab you. So let's see if we could find like a common theme when we're fighting these chefs. So another thing, there will be certain bits in the game where the camera will start tilting right and tilting left. I believe that's supposed to allude to the fact that you're on a ship, and it makes these things right here move. So I don't think it kind of subtly comes in at certain points in the game, trying to get you in that mindset of, hey, remember where you are. You're on some type of ship because you're rocking back and forth. So subtly reminding the player where they're at, but not being like hitting them over the head with it. Thought I could make it. So as you can see there, on the wheelie cart, there is this kind of like thing that you can grab. When it comes to stuff like that, helping the players see that they can grab something is making it relative to their scale. So like, you know, when it comes to like the drawers on a cabinet, make it obvious that you can grab that handle and pull it out, and you can do that via the idea of the size of the handle. And you can kind of get the idea of the chef because you can hear the knives being sharpened. But look, you ate that rat, but if you were just holding on a little bit longer, you could have had a carrot. Look at you, killing real things when you could have been a vegetarian. What's wrong with you? Get out of here, carrot. So we're still getting the idea like, oh, we're about to enter a kitchen. And what we learned from Mr. Hands in terms of storytelling is that there are children that are being held captive, killed, and then put into little meat bags, and then they get served to this guy. Oh, here's another thing that's interesting. When you're fighting or when you're interacting with the monsters, when you get near them, your controller will start to vibrate like a heartbeat. So, I don't know if that's also, like, if you're in a high tense situation... Oh, right, he's not blind, I forgot. Leave me alone, I don't like you. Leave me alone, fat boy. You can hear the music from when you get caught. So yeah, that was another thing. It was easy mode with Mr. Hands because he didn't see you, so you could just, like, go out in the middle of the thing and just not be heard, but this guy actually sees you. There goes the gnomes. So this is interesting. I'm playing with like the sight, how he sees you and stuff. So as you can see, it gets blurry because you're not in the room, but like with certain aspects, you can actually like move this over and see what he's doing. So yeah, these little sausage things are actually people or children. So it's kind of sinister in that light. It's interesting though because this guy doesn't hear as much as whatchamacallit does. So yeah, he's gonna reach underneath the table to try and grab you. But obviously his hand, he's not as elastic or long as Mr. Hands is, so he won't actually... Yep, so he'll look under the table to try and find you, then he'll rush to the other side of the table. Oh, we need a key. So now you figure out you need a key, but you know that you're probably being chased, so there's like always this ladder pattern that'll tell you like, hey, you can climb me. You know how it's open, the light is on it. Lighting is another big thing. You know, the light at the door. Hey, you need to go through me, but you don't have the key. Where am I going to find the key? Come over here to this little cupboard area and try to climb that. So lighting is going to be very key element in the game design and trying to tell people where they need to go and what they need to grab and what they need to do once they have that. So now we're up here. We're getting a better sense. Like, look over there. You got fish, you got swordfish, you got stuff like that. And yet they're cooking kids. Like, you have all these fishes. And yet, you see, this is what I was talking about before. Yeah. Same thing happened with Mr. Hands. Whenever you made a sound, he would know that you're there. With this guy, it's probably like, oh shit, look at that. It's a broken pot, you know. But with Mr. Hands, it was, oh crap, he's above me, you know. And this guy is a little bit meatier, a little bit more dumb, I would say. So it's kind of one of those character factors compared to Mr. Hands. He will grab you because he hears you. This guy is more like, huh, I'll cook you. But again, this is just the intro to the character, so I'm sure that there's a little bit more. You can jump and grab onto things. Again, this is a little bit of a ladder pattern. Like, whenever you see, like, this, I want to call it, like, a plaid pattern. I know it's not plaid, but it's, like, crisscross, you know, weaving into one another. Whenever you see that or a ladder, it's kind of one of those, like, oh, I can climb this. So, grab it up there to get up here. So, another interesting thing here is that we just saw a chef, right? But why does he have 2 toilets? And then you get a picture up there, probably what he looked like. So, why are there 2 toilets? And then it's like, that's weird. And it's trying to tell you that there's another chef. So, it looks like we're in some type of house. If you pay attention to the sound, you can hear snoring. You hear snoring. You open the door, and what do you know? There's another frickin' chef. Another chef. So this was the light, the music box thing that I was telling you about. Makes a lot of noise if you throw it or touch it or anything like that. So we know that we're looking for a key, and you just jumped and you woke him up. So now you're kind of in that, oh my gosh, he just turned on the light. Helps you a ton. You figure out there's 2 brothers. So now you're kind of dealing with the, oh my gosh, I have to deal with 2 of them now. Sorry, I'm getting alerts on my phone. Sorry about that. So now you're kind of just waiting for him to go. Can kind of move around here. So hopefully he doesn't come back when he hears that. I'm trying to look for that key, though. I wonder where that key is. Oh, so made it onto the bed. Still kind of looking around for that key. But at least now we know there's 2 of them. We need to get out, because obviously the key isn't in here, I don't think. Unless it's, like, further above, which it might actually... I'm going to do a double take, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Try to hit L2 to climb. Oh, there's the key. You see it right there? So now we need to find a way how to get over there. When you die, you obviously hear like a little crack like you broke your neck, so that's a good way. The light also fades from the screen. It's not like a full-on, I'm looking at you, but it's like a fade away, like the light fades, and of course lighting being like one of the big things in this game is light and sound. Art direction speaks for itself, so I'm not going to go into like stuff like that. Like obviously, if you stick to the style, it's going to be one of the biggest accomplishments, sticking to that style. But things are elongated, things are curved. Obviously, the monsters are more, you know, their features are exaggerated. Like the brothers are fat. The Mr. Hands is blind and he's kind of stubby, so he has like very short legs but long arms. So there's always this like theme behind each of the character or the monsters. So I think that I could perhaps reach or jump over there if I come over this way and try to jump. See? Yep. So now it's jump onto the key, shimmy your way, bam. So we take the key. It's our precious little key. And of course, we're going to go back to the elevator. We saw it on the way in, so that's kind of one of those, like, oh, there's an elevator there, and there's the switch. So now we're going to come up here. Drop the key. Bam. I guess I could talk about with character, though. The silhouette is very menacing and very strong. Like, right here. Obviously, you can see the trace bits of yellow, but this character is more black than... And I noticed this kind of playing before. Like, for instance, here. There's no light, but you could see the strong black in the character. So, obviously, the silhouette is, again, going to be one of the most important things about seeing the character in these very dark situations, you know, when there's absence of light. You can see the trace bits of yellow, so I mean that kind of helps, but when it comes to like those very dark, very black, shadowy areas, we have to make it to where it's not too black that you can't see the character. So I guess that's a point to talk on. So we're gonna try to follow the same route again. Wait for Fatso to boil whatever's on that pot. Heat up his stove, so he's come back in here. That gives you the leeway of, oh, now I can move. Gnomes are moving, and whenever gnomes move, that might give away your position. I'm just gonna go ahead and run because I don't want to waste time. But yeah, you can hear the footsteps. The footsteps are always kind of loud. I don't think... They might be louder than the music, so that's a strong point to talk on. Try to make the things that'll help the character louder than the actual music, or just to kind of help them, like, oh, he's coming for me, I need to move. And it's kind of hard to do whenever the music is too loud. So balancing those sounds are going to be a key aspect in the communication between developer and player. There's a lot of these mechanics too, where you have to like crank this wheel. We don't know what that does yet, but I think here you have to hold on to this. I'll try to do it again. Nope. So now that you have the meat, you now have to crank this, and it's creating a sausage. You can see it up there thanks to the camera. The camera always aids you. It always tells you, like, hey, this area right here is something you need to focus on. And you could definitely get that again from the lighting. For instance, this is like the centerpiece, as you can see. And yeah, it's, again, shifting back and forth, alluding to the fact that you're on a boat. But the lighting is always going to be like, hey, you see this area? This is where your main focus is. And then when you're doing something like here, the camera helps you shift to wherever you need to look. So now we are under the impression that we need to find more meat. So here you go. It's a little elevator that takes you up. Let's see. So this is where the meat comes in. We can't get past this door. Or maybe we can. It's just over here. So jump. Yep. You can jump, grab, go through. So it's interesting that we're kind of getting into, like, we're understanding what these people do on a day-to-day basis by going into these areas. Like, this radiator room helps power everything. Another small thing about the game is that you can find these little geishas, and then you can crack them, and then you get, like, a little, like, achievement thing. I don't think it actually tells you in here. But, oh yeah, pause screen, might as well look at that. Very limited, helps you with settings, you know, restart from checkpoint, resume, stuff like that. But very simple. I guess like another thing I should talk about is there's no like information to really gather in terms of HUD. So it's like you don't have a life bar, you don't have stamina bar, you don't have anything like that. So very immersive in that regard. I'm sure that was, you know, intentional, but thinking about what we want to put in our game in terms of what we communicate to the player without gameplay. So Meat Locker, we just got told it was cold because she's breathing. You can see it right there. They do a really good job of telling you where the setting is. Like for like the environmental storytelling. Like this is a very cold meat locker. You can kind of tell now from the fog. You know, you probably wouldn't even notice that if, you know, you didn't see the breath, but you can see kind of we're in a very cold area because of the fog, because you're breathing. It's a meat locker, so the meat has to be cold, but it's one of those like, this isn't just like a foggy room, it's a cold room, you know. It's being able to communicate that. So now we're going to come back down here, and this is probably a little bit warmer because again the lighting is a little bit more tinted orange. You know, you get a big yellow here, but of orange here, and then it comes into like a brown. So this is a lot warmer than wherever we just were. Right, we have to hit this. So bam, meat's down. Let's do this again. So we only got enough for one sausage link. Okay, so we need to go back up. Honestly, we probably just need to go back up and then do that jumping bit again. Honestly, I was just kind of lost in thought when I was talking about like this area. Like even here, you can see white, blue, and then coming into that brown again. So definitely having a hot and cold type of communication here. This is probably going to be the one right here. Oh, crap. Let's try this again. I think that you can jump on that body bag, if I'm not mistaken. No? I'm trying to think about where they would want you to get more meat. Do I use my body to hit the thing? Oh, is that telling me that it's not even... See, here... We can kind of see that, like... Oh, it's going in. Never mind. There's got to be a way to get more meat. Is this meat actually up here? Ah, see, there you go. There's meat right there. So you grab it. There you go. So I think that's another reason why they gave you the light, so that way it's just like, is that what I think it is? And then you turn it on, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Another thing is, you don't need to hit circle to turn on the light. You can also, like, click the right analog stick, and that also turns it on. Sliding, of course. When you sprint and then hit L2, you can slide. Sorry about that. Moving forward. I think that might be all the meat that I think that might be all the meat that we need to create that little bit of a rope. Sadly, you're making the rope out of human flesh. I will not stop telling you that these are people. So I guess the meat is murder thing reigns true. So I think that might be long enough. So you jump, grab, And then you start swinging. And then, boom, you're there. Puzzle solved. So I think that they also don't want you to forget that this is meat for, you know, like human meat. Because, I mean, they're making you actually put these meat grinded up into the sausage chunks. And it kind of makes you feel like a monster. So again, we're back in somewhere cold. You can tell from the color palette, your breath. Let's keep moving forward. So we need a key now. So now we know we need to find a key. Where is said key, though? Is there anywhere where we can jump? Anywhere in particular? Actually, that was probably an elevator now that I think about it. Let me go back. Let me make sure it was not something I missed. Yeah, elevator, see? Ah! Oh. Oh! I thought I died! Aha! Elusive! Running! Running! Now he's gonna come back up here, though. But we can hide. Bam. I said bam. So as you can see, we can hide in here. He comes up. Get a closer look at this guy. You can kind of see he's wearing some type of mask or something. It might be the same for his arms. Like the flab isn't actually flab. So now he opened up the door, which is a thing I didn't even consider, was looking for. I just thought you could go through it like a little like entryway into the kitchen, like you just flung it open. So he's frustrated now because he's chopping up that meat. Look at him go. Look at him go. He is so angry right now. Man. And that's a person. Goodness me. So, sound design, you can listen to him breathing. You heard the meat kind of break apart. The light is all on this guy and like horrific, like he's performing surgery. Using the cabinets to kind of sneak around him. Controllers are... Oh, and there's the key right there too. There's the key. So now you got him to move. So I noticed that I moved over here and he went back. So now that I'm probably over here, he's going to go back to where I'm at. See how he kind of stops. Probably not. So now we sneak up here. So we got to give him away from what he's doing. So we're going to hit this button. Grind that up. Man, he was so into that noise and looking at that thing that he didn't even notice me. And I was right there. So we got the key. We're running away now. And now we're going to go back downstairs. Okay. Another thing, you know that they're alerted because they give a little and that's how you know that they found you. So now the sound, the music is intense. You need to open up this door. You need to go through it. You need to get in here. Recognize that you probably can't reach that door. So there you go. Hide in there. I was gonna see if I could try to get up into that little thing right there. Like try to jump on that, but obviously that isn't how that worked. And look, so another thing, you get so up in the moment that you're kind of like, oh god, oh god, oh god. But it's those moments where you need to calm down and breathe, and then it's like you sit there for a minute, and then the enemies will do the work for you, which is something that you don't usually think about, like, having people do. But yeah, the guy just went and did that whole thing for me. Now I'm up here. Now I'm in the garbage. A waste bin. Light. Is this a geisha doll? Yo, I found another geisha. Crack that batting. I love that particle effect, by the way. Particle effects aren't as in your face as most games are, but these ones are really subtle and I enjoy it. So we have this plunger. I'm trying to figure out, like, what to do. What is this? This little toy block. I feel like I'm supposed to grab this somehow. I don't know. It's like in the center of the room. Oh, I know. It's going back to that ladder pattern. Try saying that 10 times fast. Climbability. Communicating shapes and patterns to the player at the beginning of the game is definitely a must when trying to figure out, like, how can we tell these players that this is climbable, you know, and you got to introduce that, like, really early in the game. So we got the two brothers. They're washing dishes together. Look at that soap. It's overflowing out of the sink. I can't tell if it's because they don't care or if they're in a rush. So they might be in a dinner rush, trying to get, like, all this stuff out. So they're just working together, as brothers do. As brothers should. It's very easy, I feel like, to kind of try to humanize them, to kind of make them feel a little less scary. But then once you see them, they're like, oh, we're going to kill you. And it's, you know, it fades. But it's hard not to see the human side of these characters. Especially in some of the environment storytelling. Like, you can tell that they are trying to get you into, like, these are who these guys are. Leave me alone! Ah! Well, that was lucky. So we gotta sneak past these guys to get to the other side of the room. So now he's over there. A little bit of SEAL Team 6 sliding right there. Very militaristic, like, oh, Mission Impossible, yo. Or sliding into DMs, you know, you never know. So, now we're in here, a little bit of a colder climate from comparison to where we just were. You kind of know those guys were alerted because you just heard them go, like they were, like, surprised, alerted, you know. Again, sound design. The cracked plates, when you went over those, they made a little cracking noise. So we need to get up here. That's the... These guys are breathing heavily. They're chunky. So let's get back into what we actually have to do without making any noise. So the idea is that we have to get to this door. You can't jump on it. But maybe we can ascend and hit that switch. You can see it right there. Everything's also kind of at this slant whenever you're trying to figure out what you need. So it's kind of like, look around this picture. What's the thing that pops up? And it's usually like the first thing in the corner because it's at this slant. So let's hit this. So now we got the system above working. So now we know that we need to get through the door by going up. And the only way to go up is by going back. So we need to figure out how to get up. So I saw that there was a hole right there where this guy is cleaning dishes. So we're going to wait for him. He should be moving here in a second. Alright, he's gone. He's moving. So now we're going to go in here. You can hear the little pitter-patter in the feet. Here you go. A little bit more effects. The water's dripping out of the sink. Oh, there you go. Climb the plates. You know. So now, jump. Get up here. Come on. Climb, 6. I think her name is 6. Okay, as you can see, just slid over some plates, alerted them. Your heart is beating in your ears. Brothers are tag teaming on you. I was gonna say we could climb the plates to get up there, but it doesn't look that way anymore. So now they're looking for you. I'm gonna try to run. There you go. That's what those are for. Help you get here quicker. So as we're moving toward the left, that's signaling to the AI of the bosses to kind of move this way too. Because this guy just went ahead and moved over here. So let's go ahead and climb up. And can we climb these pots and pans? I wonder. No. The answer is no. But we know that we need to ascend. At least I believe so. Maybe we need to come back over here to this door? No. Let's see. I want to do a little bit of scouting. So, we know that we need to go up. Maybe there's that centerpiece. This goes back to lighting. So now that I'm kind of looking around trying to figure out where to go, we know that there's that centerpiece of plates. So maybe we need to get up onto that table and climb those plates. It's a possibility. I'm not exactly sure. There is that little wood piece right there. He sees me. My heart is beating. This isn't somewhere I can hide. I thought it was one of those open patterns platforms. He's a big boy. He's the biggest boy. Alright, just trying to see. So, it wouldn't make sense because it would lead to a high-stakes moment where they're trying to climb or push the plates over and you need to grab the hook above you. It makes sense to me, gameplay-wise. He's probably gonna reach under, isn't he? He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. He's fixing his mask. I don't think he can grab me. He might. So... So he's probably gonna grab me. I'm full. Yeah, see? What'd I say? What did I say? Leads to a high stakes moment when they're trying to grab you right here on top of the thing, and then you see your hook, and then you're gone. They can't reach. You're too flabby. You can't reach. So one's going one way, the other's coming my way. They both know I exist now, so they're not seeing things. So that guy's gonna try to keep following me. He's probably gonna go through the door once he sees where I'm going. I'm gonna keep... Oh, see? Now they're forcing you to fall. So I'm gonna fall right here. And that's gonna allude to that guy coming through. That... Oh my goodness. Kind of block him off. Keep going. You see that the hooks are still there. They're throwing stuff at me now. Oh no! The timing was off! Man, that was so good for a good 2 seconds. But these guys are very angry because they're like, we know one's escaped! We're gonna get fired! I don't know. That guy throws that bottle. Back to storytelling, you know, why is that bottle there? It's like, it's there because he's ready to throw it at you, and then the splatter and stuff, they're still throwing bottles at me. Yeah, you guys suck! Later, skaters! So obviously, we're about to fall right here. Bam. Balancing. Oh yeah, on certain areas, the animation changes to her balancing. So that's another key detail in there is balancing. We have escaped the kitchen. So there you go. That's how you escape the kitchen. Um, I'm sure that's probably all that you need, but in terms of just kind of seeing where the game goes, I'm just gonna keep doing this to kind of keep playing the game, just to give you a little bit more idea of what's going on. About to fall off. So you're starting to hear seagulls now. Still trying to allude to the fact that you're on a ship. Now is like the big reveal that, like, hey, you are definitely on a ship. Here's the ladder. The waters, you can see the water effects coming off of the iron plates. Water kind of still alluding like, hey, big reveal. And you're on a ship. The music changes, you hear the seagulls. Now you're like, what are those things? Are those people? And you just got done seeing the version of people that were the chefs. And they were fake. Because you could tell from the flaps, the one was reaching up his neck. The camera's panning out, they're going from one ship to another ship. So now we're still climbing. It gave you like a whole sense of what was going on for the time being. Or what, it's kind of, this is like the big reveal point. I don't want to say it's like, you can see that the camera is now focusing on the people. These are really big, chunky people. We can also take a look at the level design here too. Like, for instance, you can see these two ladies in the front over here near coming to the big light. They're kind of looking the same. So there's variations in each of the characters. Like, those two ladies have a different color palette. One guy is green and has a hat. The other guy is green but doesn't have a hat. One lady is blue but has hair. You know, it's like, if I had to say, there's probably like maybe 5 to 6 variations of just one or two genders. So that's how you can get like a whole large amount of people like this and have them stack it up in the line and allude to more than just, you know, whatever. Besides, you're moving along this platform anyway, so it's kind of gonna be hard to notice, but let's see if we can get that camera happening again. So we're coming back over here. Yeah, see, the camera is now getting blurred, and then to reveal who these guys are, it becomes more focused on the people and blurs out the background. So that's another thing for camera. The lighting is kind of showing you the shadows of the people and stuff like that. You can also kind of see if they're real based off of the light as well. You can see they don't have flabs like a mask or anything like that. Like, that's their actual body. That's their actual face. So now it's like, oh my gosh, you know, these people really let themselves go. So that's, and that level was all dedicated to that big reveal. You're on a ship. This is the world. These people are big. And now that you just went through whatever they did to prepare the meat, sitting here like, who's the big reveal? Who's the guy that's running all of this? So we just fell. You can grab these little wooden planks. We haven't seen this in a bit, but you can grab these little wooden planks and find your way through. Yep, you're very small. Scale is also another big thing in this game. You're very small. Everything else is really, really big. Let's see. More balancing animation. You can, yeah. So to let you know how heavy these people are, the camera is shaking with each footsteps these guys take. So it's like boom, shake, boom, shake, boom, shake. Even you can even see it up there. The bit of the whatchamacallit, the roof, it shakes a little bit right there. It just did it. The lanterns are swaying back and forth. That might be because of the ship, so they don't think about it, but it's probably them. And I just alluded to who's up here. We finally see the head honcho, the geisha lady. So we had like the little geisha statues, and at the very beginning of the game, you see the shadow of this person, like, oh my gosh, who is that lady? And then you never think about her again until this moment where you see her, and she's running the show. sound design. When you jump on these, you hear the little tiles. This isn't really big in terms of art, though. Like, for instance, this is just kind of one material with a bit of a shine metallic shader, and it has maybe a mask of a little bit of rust to kind of allude that this is a bit of like an iron tile, or not an iron tile, but like, you know, this is some metallic tile. So we're obviously starting to get into like the showmanship part. Like, this is a Japanese eatery, so very Japanese. I think that I can't remember. I'm kind of getting my idea from like Naruto. They had like a hibachi meats area. I can't say that it was like Korean beef or anything like that, but it was definitely like a BBQ shop that Choji, Ino, and Shikamaru would like visit with their master. I want to say it's like it's not a Karu. I'm probably missing it, but with their master basically, their sensei. And this is kind of what I'm getting, is that like Korean or that barbecue kind of Japanese beef type of thing, but instead of beef, it's human. So we're gonna keep going across this. Another thing, Japanese, the sliding door. Obviously, there's a little creak in here, so we're gonna slide right in. Although now that I'm seeing like the fish, the pies, the cheese, the meat, we're kind of getting the idea of this is more of a Japanese buffet. And you can hear them munching and chewing and loving whatever they're eating. And it's really sick because now you know they're eating tiny children, so it's like sickening that this is their life now. Here's another close up of the guy eating that meat. Again, this is probably like really easy in terms of, I don't want to say really easy because the texturing and everything in here is amazing, but it's nothing that hits you over the head complex. You know, it's very simple, very like the detail and where it needs to be is obviously there. So we're gonna try to sneak through this parlor, or this buffet. Obviously get through here. This guy sees us, he loses his mind. Oh my gosh, he's crawling at us now. That's terrifying. These guys are fat, but they are ready to pounce, as you can see. So we need to jump, climb, move. They notice it now, and now here they come. Oh, back to the brothers. This is teaching you what you need to do. Climb the plates. These guys lose their minds. Oh, goodness me. Oh, no! Oh, my goodness me. I cannot believe I survived that from being dumb. Okay, so obviously they go back to whatever animations they were at. So here we are. Jump. She can't reach. She's too fat. Oh, but she can lean back, though. So now we're coming over here. These guys haven't recognized me yet. They're probably about to, though, if I'm being honest, because I need to figure out how to get through here. R2 is to grab. Hey, guys. I hope you don't mind me at all. So I think we're supposed to move this way, actually. They kind of show you the path beforehand of what you need to do. These guys are trying to grab you, but they're kind of too fat. They'd hit, you know. A lot of this is lucking out to the fact that they are not athletic enough to reach across the table and grab something. That shows you how feral these guys have gotten, but how out of shape they are as well. But they love it. They don't care. They just love the food. So now we have a little bit of a dish tray situation. I can't believe I just made that. So now we're gonna run across. Guys across the way. I think that guy saw me, but I can't be sure. I think that we're supposed to actually go across the bench right there. Again, light telling you exactly where you need to go. So now we need to run this way, I believe. Yep. Now they're kind of inching their way across the table. Just broke something, alluded to where I am. Noise again. You can notice that the beat is getting like more intense. He got stuck. Oh my gosh, he actually got me and ate me. I made a mistake. I was doing so good. Okay, so another thing, when you die, it's like you wake up from a nightmare. It's like you're tucked in like a little child, you know, and it's like, oh no, like, and then it's like, oh, and then you like remember you're supposed to like keep going through this, like you got tired. So he falls off. Obviously he's fast, so you have to run back the other way. And then he gets stuck. I thought he could jump on him because he's kind of plump. So yeah, you get like that little bit of animation time where he's like reaching for you. Gives the player a little bit more time to dodge. So let's go through here. So somebody's coming up the elevator. Chunkster. Oh, it's the chef again. We're back to the chef. There's a mirror. Shoot. He might grab me, actually. I don't mind if he does. It's because I don't really know where I'm going. Yeah, I figured that was the case. Oh, you know what? I think that I'm supposed to break that mirror. I remember there's like a big thing about breaking mirrors in this game. There's also a geisha right there. Should I try to get up to the geisha? I don't know. I might have to do it later. There we go. This is what I was trying to do before, but couldn't. Because I thought you could go on the other side and go through. So he's gonna rush back. I'm gonna see if I can go get that geisha. So that kind of tells you, like, hey, grab this thing, and the only thing you can really throw it at is that. That shows you it's a false wall. I don't think that Chunkster is gonna come back, the chef. I don't think he's gonna come back. I know I just said I'm gonna try to go get that geisha, but it looks like I might not be able to because that door is closed. I'll probably do it on another playthrough or something, but... And obviously we know that we can go through these. I think that actually this is really... Yeah, it leads you back, and you saw the elevator with the switch, so you know that you're supposed to go down there. I noticed that these guys get really angry whenever they don't catch you, so they just go back to chopping up their meat, dude. It's insane. Silhouette on that one, too. I think that goes back, kind of back to... Maybe, I want to say Japanese filming, when you can, like, see what's on the other side of like, the thin wax wall or something like that, wax paper wall. So, maybe it's a good, like, it's a good blend of, like, Japanese, but I'm also getting, like, of Japanese film, but I'm also getting kind of, like, Hitchcock kind of feels as well. Alfred Hitchcock, master of filming horror. I think that he did, I think he was the one that did Bates Motel, but, like, not the 2019 or whatever year that was, the new one. It was, like, the old Bates Motel. So, these guys are hungry. They're savage. You can tell from the look in their eyes. They're opening up these walls, these doors. Well, at least they took their shoes off. Now you can tell that they're getting into a monstrous kind of zombie horde type of situation. You can feel the rumbling in the controller, the thumping that they're doing. We're going back to another little zigzag level design. Things are working out in your favor up until this point. Now you need to jump. You can tell they're getting hungry. They're all closing in. It's getting very loud. Ambient. You see it. You jump. Grab. And now everything is calm again. The sound in this is amazing. Love the sound. Now everything's calm. Everything's okay again. Oh, but you just reminded yourself after going through all that food that you are starving. You are hungry now. You just exerted a lot of effort into trying to escape those dudes that were trying to devour you ravenously. You are in immense pain. You are so hungry, you can't stand it. Oh, but look, you got a little friend, a little gnome. Yes, give me the sausage. But I want something alive. So this is when it kind of takes a darker turn, because you know that you're willing to eat rats and stuff like that, but like, oh my god, you ate a gnome! Like, what the hell? But yeah. So I feel like this is a good... Oh, you wiped your mouth. The blood. So I feel like this is a good kind of place to stop. I got about like 5 minutes before my hour-long recording cuts me off, but hopefully this helps for the ideation behind Curie and kind of forming out some gameplay and some sound and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll see what you guys think. Let's do this.